everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Minecraft Nomad series. Not really sure where we left off last time, but we're gonna head off. It's been a little bit. I feel like I do this every episode. I apologize about why is my game lagging so bad today. Alright, that's better. I apologize. I feel like I do this every episode, but I'm gonna apologize here about lack of uploads. I know I say I'm gonna upload every day, but I say that I got some come up every day. But the only reason I didn't upload yesterday, well, I did technically upload yesterday, but it was a re-upload because a video file messed up uploading on Monday. So that's why that happened. I do have a couple stories to share with you today. I wasn't really thinking hard about them, but these stories kind of came to the forefront of my mind recently. There's two of them from 6th grade and one of them from 8th grade. And so I'll start off with the first one in 6th grade. So here in the United States we have this thing called homecoming, which is essentially, it's normally in the it's based off of when your football team comes back to a home game kind of a deal. It's normally around the middle of the season, and the way it works is you celebrate homecoming. Normally you just had an away game and you're coming back for home field advantage, and then the whole week you do a bunch of events and get all hyped up for the game, and then everybody on Friday night goes out and watches the game. That's generally how it goes. Well, in 6th grade, you just kind of get, I don't really know how to word it. You're not really like, you go to the football game normally on Friday night, but you don't actually watch it. You like, at least where I was from, most of the saw, we went out and, wow, my game is acting cool today. Out and we just play football alongside the actual field in like the open areas nearby. Small towns is kind of the way it works. But so it was homecoming week, and we're sitting in class. Normally you have a lot less classwork during homecoming week because teachers know that you only have about half the class periods anyway because of all the pep rallies and all this other stuff going on. So we were sitting in class, and I think it was like the Wednesday or Thursday of homecoming week. So we were all super excited, had a ton of energy. As 6th graders, me being somebody who's going to be a future educator and having actually worked in a 6th grade classroom, that's a lot. Hyper 6th graders can get to be a lot. Now here's where the problem comes into play. Actually, it was a Wednesday. I know it was a Wednesday because I remember the sirens going off, and everybody is. If you're not from the Midwest of the United States, you're not going to understand this. But we have sirens go off on, at least where I'm from, it was Wednesdays around 1 p.m. Sirens go off, and it's just to test to see if the tornado sirens are still working. A lot of people don't understand that, so. But the way it worked, or what happened was, we get into school, we're probably in like, school normally starts around 8, I think it started at 8:05, school I was at. So it was like 8:45, 9 o'clock-ish, and all of a sudden the power goes out. So it's just all of the sudden dark where we are, which we're like, oh, it's dark now, it's scary. So, they pushed us out into the hallways, because the hallways for us had windows. Our classrooms did not. They were in the center of the thing, but the hallways had windows. So we did the entire rest of the day of school sitting in our hallways completely on the light outside. Which means instead of having like 20-ish people in a classroom, there was all 80 of us in one hallway, broken up by class. So it was just hectic and chaos. And come to think of it, I don't know why they didn't just hold classes outside. If I remember correctly, it was a kind of hot day because it would have been in September. So it was still fairly warm out, and so we were trying to captivate what cold air was still left in the building from when the AC was on. Because obviously, when power goes out, so does the AC. So all of our lights are out, the AC's out, all this fun stuff. I remember the tornado sirens going off for the warning and everybody freaking out and then realizing it was a warning. And in all honesty, it was just a fun memory to think back on because like everybody's all hyped up. I think I even had half blue, half silver hair because that was my school colors. And we're all getting excited for this game, and now we're doing class out in the hallway, which never happens. I'm sure teachers were minorly panicking because we use smart boards almost all the time in our classrooms. So now they've got to adapt their lesson plans because they don't have technology. But overall, I think we had a really... the teachers handled it very well, I will say. And that was probably one of the years that I had some of my best teachers as far as like all around teachers. I know every year I normally had like one teacher I really didn't like. 6th grade year, I strongly remember really liking the teachers. What is with the lag today? Oh boy, I thought I... let's just try and help this a little bit. I don't think I changed... Oh, I turned my render distance up for something else that was going on. That's why. This should fix it. I normally distance. Oh, there we go. Now we're doing better. That was our problem. What is this? More underground things for me to explore. So, that was one story. I got another story that stems from... Oh boy, he is trying Thank you. Nope, it's not. Alright, nobody goes. Obviously, in 6th grade, we don't really have a lab yet. And then we didn't really optimize our labs until 9th grade. So, 6th grade science class, I can't remember what we were learning. The teacher needed papers passed out. And two of my buddies passing out papers. And they got names on them, so one of them's got names on them, one of them's just going down the list, going down the class, handing out the picture. And one of my buddies turns around and my other buddy's standing right next to him. And as he turns around, this hits his eye with the edge of the sheet of paper. And we all know because there was definitely some red stuff coming out. So we were all freaking out. We're like, oh goodness, our buddy's dying, what's going on, kind of a deal. And it turns out, when he turned around and the paper got caught on his eye, he cut his contacts lens in half. So here's the teacher. We've got a kid in our class who's bleeding out of his eye, and we're all freaking out as kids. So you got to try and contain us as the teacher. So we're out here freaking out, and our teacher's got to try and calm us down somehow. I don't even know how you contact a class full of 6th graders. We should know, considering I'm going to possibly have to teach 6th graders. So our teacher, or our class is freaking out because here's our buddy just bleeding. We don't know what's wrong. And then all of a sudden he starts laughing. Which generally that's a good sign. For us, we were concerned. And finally he turns around and we find out that it was just his contacts lens that got cut in half. We did not know that until he told us. Freaking out. Like, a bunch of kids here, and you little prick. Two of you? I almost died. There's a skeleton there. Running away. So, yeah, I'm trying not to die here. In case you couldn't tell. Okay, we're gonna sit right here, eat first. So yeah, here we are, a bunch of 6th graders freaking out. Oh my goodness, this kid's eye is bleeding, and then it turns out it was just his contact lens. And how the blood actually happened, I don't know. I do distinctly remember it, and I think we kind of speculated that maybe he partially closed his eye, and so it cut a little bit of his eyelid. But still, we were freaking out as kids. Like, this was, we were flabbergasted, and yes, that's a word that I have actually used in a real sense. Here we are, it was just something that I have never seen something that crazy or seen kids that out of control because of something since then, and I felt the need to share that story. It was kind of nuts. Let me know in the comments if you guys have any fun, like, grade school memories you can remember that were like chaos ensues and somehow the teacher was able to maintain order and not everything break out. And then the other one other story I wanted to share with you. This was also ice biome. I very rarely get to see these ice biomes. I feel like they're everywhere, but never where I'm traveling. Ready? I'm gonna make a really bad joke here before I get into the story. Captain, there's an ice bug dead ahead. Oh! Well, that didn't work. Yeah, that was right. It's fine. Hey, polar bears. It's the first time I've seen them in the wild. Are you gonna attack me? Polar bears don't attack me? That's exciting. I feel like I expected polar bears to attack me. So, it also comes on homecoming week of 6th grade year. And so 6th grade year. Also, I have a story about icebergs that I should get into. So, or 8th grade year. 8th grade year. Homecoming is now becoming a big deal because the next year I'm going to be a 9th grader. 9th graders have to set up the field and take down the field as part of being part of the football team. Because I was on the football team. We've talked about this before. And we'll probably talk about it again. I've got probably a lot of stories about football. And so I actually really like that they did this. So I'm at the football game. And obviously you get picked on as a kid. Not obviously. You should never get picked on, but I got picked on when I was in middle school. And so at the game, I got pantsed like 7. That is not the place I want to go. I saw that underwater fortress down there. I ain't going down there. Monument or whatever it's called. So I got picked on, and I got pantsed probably close to 7 times at this football game. And I was not having it. And finally one of the kids did it. And all the kids who did it could run faster than me, so they always ran away before I could do anything, which was just, I don't know, that just irked me even more. So finally one of the kids, he goes, well, so-and-so told me to do it. And yes, I'm going to say so-and-so, because otherwise I'll actually end up saying people's names. So he told me that this other guy did it. So I go over to this other guy, and me being the 8th grader that I am, I'm so fed. I'm on emotions right now. I'm not thinking. I kicked the kid in the back of the leg. And he just goes, he yells at me. He's like, he swore at me and all this sort of stuff. And at this time, I had grown up in a relatively, or not relatively, it was a very Christian household. And so swearing was just not okay. This was before I had blasphemed it. I swear all the time now. I just try not to do it on recordings. Simply for personal reasons, because I know things on the internet are out there forever. There's no run away! There's a movie reference for you. If you don't know what it is, leave a comment, I'll tell you. But he, so yeah. This makes me more mad. So I run up to him and try and tackle him, because that's usually how I solved most of my problems, or solved most of my problems then, was trying to tackle somebody. I was one of the bigger guys. Granted, this kid probably outweighed me by a good 30 to 50 pounds. So I was already a big guy, so that is telling you where we're at here. So I tried to tackle this guy, and he's standing next to a discus throw thing. And because of my angle and the way he moved his body, I slipped right off him and went into the fence. So this made me even more angry, because I had failed the one thing I'm supposed to be really good at. So I came up and I punched him in the face. Like full-blown arm all the way back, punched him. So then he punches me like 6 times, and then we just walk away. All of us just walked away. I started walking around for a while, and I finally was like, well, I should probably go back there and clear everything up. Well, on the way back there, one of the cops, police officers, I try to avoid using slang terms when it comes to people's professions, because they work hard at them. And so he walks up to me, and I'm already walking in the general direction of where he wants me to go, but he grabs me sternly by the arm and is like dragging me, and I'm like, dude, I'm not running. I'm going to the same place you are. And so here we are with this. We're by an ambulance. It's me, police officer, the kid I hit, the principal of the high school, the dean of students of the middle school, and the principal of the middle school. And so, and then they had to call my mom too, which I was not a huge fan of that one either. But turns out this kid got a concussion from when I punched him, and I was like, oh, I've done a number on this kid. Unintentional, like, I shouldn't have hit him in the first place. Let's clarify that. I don't know if I said that yet, but I should not have hit him. I should not have kicked him. I should have just walked away. Granted, walking away is probably one of the hardest things to do when you're in a situation like that, because you are so fed up on emotions. Sorry for that. I'm just rocking my legs back and forth. So I was just livid, and there's gonna be no other chest in this. Yep. Drown. So let's get to the surface before we drown. So I didn't mean to like give this kid a concussion. I just needed to blow off Steve, and I picked the wrong person to do it on. I shouldn't have done it on an actual person. I should have done it on like a punch bag or something. Punch the dirt. Something. Other than hitting on the person, because problems come about there. So my mom shows up, takes me back, all this other stuff happens, and the school goes ahead and is like, well, since you're probably going to get into legal trouble, we will just, what's it called? They were just like, yeah, we'll, what's the word I'm looking for here? Words are failing me here. The school goes, well, here's what we're going to do. For the rest of the year, you can't go to any football games, which was fine, because at that time, I only ever went to the homecoming game, wasn't until 9th grade year I started going regularly to football games. I don't have a saddle yet. Out of all of the chests that I found, I don't have a single saddle. Because having a horse, we can look for a temple over there. Or a village, or something. More chests. There's a temple. So the school says there's that, and then you'll have an in-lunch detention kind of a deal. So instead of going out to recess or whatever, or eating lunch with my friends, I'd grab my food and I'd go eat it in the office. So I go to... The best part about this is there was 3 of us involved. All 3 of us had to do the in-lunch suspension, including the kid that I hit. And, golden apple. They put us all in the same room at the same time when we're in trouble for fighting with each other. Like, that baffles my mind to school. What are you thinking? Hey, I literally was talking about a saddle. What do I get rid of, though? I don't need mana by Arthropods book. I don't really need this chest plate either. I do want that. Horse armor. Emeralds. Another golden apple. And another saddle. I don't really need another saddle. We'll take the horse armor. Just because the horse. Can I do this? Well, we're mining up. So, yeah, we went through this whole dilemma of all this stuff, and that was the school's puncher, which baffles my mind as to why to put all of us in the same room, but I get it, try and get us to get along. So then it comes to the legal drama, and this happened on a Friday night, and they said they'd get back to us on Monday with what was going on. So here I am. Here I am, full well expecting to get in trouble for you name it. And it turns out the kid that I fought with, because here's one of the things that still bothers me to this day. The principal, who actually I didn't become friends with him, but he became more friendly with me because of other things. I need an open hand to tame one of these horses, so sure. Decent amount of health. So, in principle, when we first met, back to not when we first met, but the night that the situation happened, obviously the paramedics had found out that the kid had a concussion at this point. So, you little, there we go. So, the paramedics had figured this out, and I said that the other kid hit me 6 times. And the principal's response was, well, if there's no marks on you, then clearly you didn't get hit. I'm over here thinking, like, dude, I've been hit. I was a black belt in Taekwondo. I've been hit plenty of times and not had marks on me. So, I didn't understand his logic or reasoning behind, oh, well, if there's no marks on you, then clearly you didn't get hit. That's not how physical contact works. If you don't bruise easy and the person doesn't hit you that hard, then you're fine. And especially if they hit you in the head, like, usually, unless they hit your eye and you mess something up there, I almost lost it. I don't know if you heard that. Then you're not really going to have an issue with a bloody eye or with a bruise on your head. You get a bruise to your brain, which is a concussion. That's the dumbed down version of what a concussion is. So that bothered me. Anyway, so the kid dropped the charges because he knew that he hit me more, and while I had instigated it, he also didn't want me at that age. And my mom, I think, said this perfectly. Is back in her day and my dad's day and whatnot, kids could would settle arguments or beef with each other back behind the schoolyard. Like, fighting was something that happened when he was growing up. My dad was born in the 60s, so he grew up like mostly in the 70s and late 70s, early 80s. Or all of the 70s, early 80s kind of a deal. So, like, I don't understand the whole concept of, ooh, it'd be really cool if I could find one of those woodland mansions. So, I don't, that's what my parents said, is like, I don't understand this whole schools, or like, not specifically in high school, just in general. I get schools not wanting kids to hit each other, because then you've got a whole bunch of other problems. But kids did used to settle their issues just going back behind the yard and fighting. Or even in some kid's basement, they'd go set up the fight. We did a couple of those where it was friendly fight nights. Isn't the first rule about fight night not to talk about it? So, that was definitely a thing that happened. So, anyway, no legal ramifications happened. Probably the best part about this story is obviously all the kids in my grade knew. Like, they felt in a public school, any sort of drama spreads like wildfire. And so everybody knew this had happened by Friday night. Like, by the end of the night, everybody knew what had happened. Everybody was trying to be my friend because they found out that I gave a concussion in one punch. But because all the kids knew, I can only assume that most of the adults knew. Like, I don't know if it was whether it's the kids, like, parents know, but, like, faculty in the school, they have to find these things out. They're probably told not to address it in classes. So, that's not where I want to be. Anyway, we show up to class. Or not class, football practice the next day. Both me and this other kid are on the football team. And he gives the coaches a note and tells them he's out for the rest of the season because of a concussion. And the coaches ask him what happened. And he tells them, I ran into a pole. That was his, that's how he got a concussion. He ran into a pole. That's what he told the coaches, and the coaches looked at me when they heard this, knew it wasn't the right answer, but just kind of let it happen anyway. And so, I didn't know what to say. What was I supposed to do? Be like, actually, I punched him, that's why he has a concussion. Like, no. What 8th grader is going to do that? Like, today, if I make a mistake, I am gonna fess up to it. But, like, then? Why would I? Sorry, horse. But it just boggles my mind that the teachers were like, yep, it's fine. Doesn't matter. Or not teachers, coaches. Not quite the same thing, kind of the same thing. Coaches teach you sport, teachers teach you stuff in classrooms, and sometimes you can be both. So, yeah, it just boggles my mind, like, not that I got away with it, because I would have been so upset, because I was almost charged with, like, assault to the 5th degree or something, which is a little bit ridiculous to give to a 8th grade, when you're going to be, like, 13? 14, maybe. You normally get your permit in 5th grade. I would have been 13 at the time, which is beyond me. Like, seriously, that's what you're going with. So, it's fine. It's not that, like, it impacted my life. Don't get me wrong. It kind of. I had a lot of people pretend to be nice to me because they didn't want to get on my bad side. It did help me not get bullied through the rest of high school because everybody knew that was a thing. Which, was nice, but at the same time, you never know who's actually being who's actually nice or is just being friendly with you, and that kind of bothered me. And still looking back on it, bothers me to this day. People in high school, middle school, whatever, they're all trying to be cool. The problem with that is, at least from my experience, no one cares. I look back at high school and yeah, I can still tell you the name of every single person in my high school class, and I can tell you who was the quote unquote popular kids. But like, if you looked at my friend group, we had every type of person under the sun. Like, every clique you can think of that is in a small town, we had them all. Every single one. And we all just had different things in common with each other, and that's how things worked until senior year, and that's a whole other story for another time. It involves people having differing opinions on certain things, and me being, not gonna lie, me being slightly petty about it. Most of them are still friends. It's me who kind of left them, and we'll get into that story next time, because I feel like this video is running really long after talking about 3 different stories. So that's probably going to do it for this episode of Minecraft Nomad. Thank you all for watching. I'm trying to get better on the upload schedule, and we'll see you guys next time. Like, comment, subscribe. Bye.